Hello and welcome to my first tutorial on creating a simple animation with my program RCT3 XML editor. Okay, first we're going to make the model. Here I am in SketchUp. I'm going to draw a rectangle, pull it up a little bit, a random value. This will be my cube I'm going to animate. I'm going to select it. I'm going to group it. And I'm going to name it Test Cube. Close that. And now we're going to create the bone. Go down here to the origin, which is XYZ000. I'm going to use the text tool. I'm going to draw text. And in order for my program to detect it as a bone and automatically add it to the bone list, I have to add a prefix bone in lowercase letters underscore and then the name I want, which is test cube bone. Click. Oh, and I forgot to. We need to group. Oh, never mind. Okay, there's our model. Now I'm going to export it. And I want to export the construction points because I have a bone. I'm going to call it video test. I'm going to save it. And then here's our exported cube with our 12-face cube and our bone. I push OK. And now I go into the XML editor. Here we are. I push next to go to ASC file. Open the ASC file. Find it, and here it is. Open. Now this is asking if I want to automatically add the meshes and bones, and I want to, so I push yes. And here's our confirmation dialog saying that they were edited. Now we have to go back and assign certain things, so push OK. Go next to textures. I'm going to add just a texture. I'm going to use this one. And since there is no alpha for it, I'm going to just give it a name, which is I'm going to call it texture. Push OK. And there's our texture. I'll push next to go to meshes, and here's our mesh that was automatically added. Double click. Give it an object name. Test. Assign the texture. There's our texture that we created. Assign a texture style, which is SI opaque or normal. Push OK. And there's our assignments. Go next to bones. Here's our bone that was automatically added. Double click. Open this, and there's the name, and then here's our position. This is the position that the bone will be in RCT3. I'm going to push default, which puts it at XYZ000, which was the position that we added the bone in SketchUp. Now I select the mesh I want the bone to be assigned to, test cube, and push OK. And then there's our assignments. Now I go next to animation. Select the bone you want to animate. Bone, test cube bone. Add a keyframe. This keyframe is just for your reference, so I'm going to say 1. And since RCT3 can be a little bit loopy when you're animating, I want to add this first keyframe, that will move the object into the position I want to be in at the first point, which is 000, which is a translate to nowhere. Let's say time 0.1, and then time is around seconds, close to seconds. I'm going to say translation, and I'm going to move it to 0, 0, 0. and save current keyframe. You have to remember to save every keyframe that you add if you make a change. Save current keyframe, add keyframe 2. Okay, and now here's our real animation at the start. I'm just going to move it up and down. I'm going to say 1, around 1 second, translate, and XYZ, I want Z. In SketchUp, Z is up, so I'm going to move it up 1, save the current keyframe, add new keyframe, 3. I'm going to say at 2 seconds, around 2 seconds, I want to move it back, translate, I want to move it back to 0. Save current keyframe, and then let's check to see if they're okay. 0.1, keyframe to nowhere, 1 second, up 1, 2 seconds, down to 0. And there we have it. Now I'm going to go next to our XML preview, and this is the OVL Make version that you use. I use 0.4, so I have that. Push refresh, and here's our XML. Now, up here in the upper right hand corner is the extra info button. This is your friend. You want to use it. So I go up here, and let's just ignore the rest of this. I want this right here. So it says, depending on which 3D model you use, this must be added as a child of OVL in the XML preview. And I use SketchUp. Now this works like fixed orientation in version 17 of the importer. So I select this for Blender or SketchUp. I copy it, leave this, and it must be added as a child of OVL. See, here's OVL. I want to add it down here. Paste. And now this will make it so it animates properly. And there's our XML again. So I push next, and here's our finish. Now you can either save and compile the XML, or you can just save it to a file. I want to save and compile it. So I click here, and we select the folder that we want to save the XML and compile the OVL files to. I want to put it where I had the ASC file, which is in here. OVL, ANI, tests. Push OK. Now here's a little info about saying that the name of the OVL file will be the name that was set in the bad node of the XML file, which is the object name that we set in our mesh, which is test. So push OK. And this is asking if we would like to show the output of the building of the OVL files, which is the output if there are any errors, and I want to, so I push yes, and we wait. And here we are, finished. Push OK, and here's our output. Compiling, OVL written successfully. Okay, let's go find our OVLs. And here they are, our written OVLs, and there we have it. We have successfully created a simple animation with my program. I'll be creating a few others, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.